Hello, everyone. Uh, you are watching Tone Ohm through Big Potato Cam, and I thought we would do something like this. We're going to do a live-ish look, first impressions, build of the Vaporware Mods Innova. This is the unbranded, it's the no-name clone Innova. I don't even know if you can see the VWM logo, but it's there. Um, Anyhow, so this came out this year, more so in the beginning of the year. I believe this holds 5 ml. It could be 4. I'm going to say 5. Um, it looks super similar to the Integra that VWM made a few years ago. In terms of like the airflow, the size, the shape, just about everything about this looks like the Integra. Even the build deck, it comes off this clone version anyway. It's all real loose going on here. Like the AFC, it has like really smooth action on it, but it's too loose because the juice flow control is also too loose. Or not even the juice flow control, I'm sorry. It's similar to a lot of other RTAs like the Tripod V2 where you would just unscrew it and lift up to access the deck. That action is too similar to just changing the juice flow ports. So, or changing the AFC. I'm sorry, airflow control. Um, the the draw seems nice. It's like pretty restrictive in a good way. It has a very nice draw. Taste I'm getting. I'm not getting like a machine oil taste. I think I'm getting more of like a plasticky taste. Yeah, from either this drip tip or maybe it's from this tank that they're using. Um, Although, I think this is glass, actually. I don't know. Maybe it is plastic. Anyhow, so, we'll see if it tastes like crap. This is the, Cincter, or whatever. I can't pronounce it. It's Italian. This is the SVA clone. I can't remember. I remember this was like 60 bucks. This is from years ago, this thing. And then they dropped it to like 40 bucks. This has a Sevo 70 chip in there. I think they did make this with a DNA 60 at one time too. I never had the authentic version. I guess we'll point this down just a little bit more. How does that work? Um, yeah. So here we go. Accessing the deck. Just a turn. Oh, so it is a 3-point type deal. I'm feeling that now. Now, as you can kind of gather, I don't know a lot about this already. Just by using the drip tip to spin this, I can see the juice flow ports opening and closing. So when I turn to the right, it opens them, and when I turn to the left, I'm closing them. Pretty open there, pretty clear to see it, but not as obvious as like an Imperia. The Imperia, it's right there on the side. You see it right through your glass. You know when the juice flow ports open or closed. On this, it's going to be a little more difficult to figure that out, I can tell. So, I'm locked. I'm still locked. So, it's in that midpoint, kind of in the same vein as the other, like opening up the Imperia. So, here it is. Twist the drip tip. I don't know if it'll work while it's off. Yes. And because I'm holding the whole thing. So what happens is these blocks, these two blocks, which are the airflow, that gets in the way, and that's what's closing off your juice flow control. We're bringing it back into light. See? Open, close, you get it? Okay. When I was taking this apart to clean it, I made a huge mess of it. Everything came apart. There's this weird O-ring in here. Even though this feels really smooth, that one O-ring in there is just like loose in there. Yeah, that's probably not like that one, the authentic one. But it is a thing. It's a thing. The airflow ports are really weird, or the AFC ring, like, it's hard to match it up on both sides. Like, it's always like more open or more closed on one side or the other. See how like all three are technically still open on this side, even though this is barely there, but they're all open. Now it's just two open on this side. So kind of like a Skila is like that. You just kind of got to match up your airflow carefully, which is interesting. I think it makes for a lot of different combinations and stuff, so I don't mind that. The build deck is super shallow, like your post screws are way down there. It makes like the rest of this, like this is where your juice flow port window is, half circled. You know, very similar design to most of the other VWM products, but it's never looked so prominently like four pillars like it does on this one. It's weird. You got your Phillips head screws like they always do, which is nice. Not a huge distance between them. Here's your coil jig that goes across. I mean, it's a VWM deck through and through. You know what I mean? They all look like that, which is a good thing, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They do a good job doing it like that. It's definitely, you know, it's weird to me because like I came into using VWM stuff a little past the you know, the point of the Integra and Innova, or the Integra and the Imperia coming out. I guess I got into it right around like the Imperia, and when that was still like just getting real popular and coming out. But I mean, I didn't realize before that like VWM was like a company that fucked with like Genesis atomizers and stuff. Like I've never even used one of them, so it's pretty impressive that they went from using Genesis style atomizers to making some of the best RTAs that ever existed. I'm pretty sure they have old RDAs too, but I've never used them. Like I said, I'm on vacation, Christmas vacation here in Florida. I don't have a lot of tools at my disposal right here. I don't have a lot to work with, unfortunately. I don't even know if this coil is going to work. I'm trying to check this out real quick. It's not the prettiest thing. It's used. It's missing some, not wraps, but it's missing some like threading, and it's not the prettiest thing. So if I could just get this in here, you know, I just want to test it a little. Let's see where we are here. If I can pin that down or not. Oh, popped the whole fucking thing. The coil is too low, or I mean the post screws, they're just way too low for where the coil jig is. So it really makes it difficult to fuck with. I mean, the coil jig is basically useless for me. And I've already cut these leads, so they're not like You know, because it's a used coil, so the leads aren't crazy long for me to play around with as much. I can already tell it's just going to be a pain in the ass to build. I mean, if I had a new coil, it wouldn't be bad. A lot of times I'll take a second tool just to pin a lead, trap a lead. Desperately try to keep it from sliding out. Yeah, so the authentic ones are super expensive. I think they're like, I want to say they were like $280. 280 euros. Just a lot. But so is, you know, so are all their products. And I'm assuming they made like 800 of them, maybe like just at 1,000, like most of their stuff. See if I can get this coil up higher without pulling these leads out. I don't think I'm gonna get that high, which is not good. I gotta try to line this up, see where this is gonna land. I should still get some undercoil airflow, but not as much as I would like. I would, if I had more lead length, I'd have it to the top of that those 4 pillars. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. There's a nice little, like, side pieces on each side of the coil that help to trap your leads pretty good. Even though, like, the post screw is, like, flat with the deck, they at least have little guides on the side, so that's convenient. It's actually going to be hard to get cotton through because of these pillars. I don't like them. I can already tell. You know, I knew this was going to be so similar. I mean, draws can be different. You know, it doesn't take much to change up a draw, make it feel like a different Addy, but in my opinion, it's just a little too similar to the Integra and Imperia. Mostly the Integra. Oh, I should dry fire this. 0.35, that's kind of low. With something like this, I would have like a 0.5, 0.4 at lowest. 0.35 is just, this might get a little more hot than what I would like. I don't know what coil this is. I mean, it's old, but I'm guessing it's a caulking coil. The old one that was in here. I only brought enough stuff for like rebuild or re-wicking on my vacation here. I didn't plan on like doing anything like this. Just kind of spur of the moment. I don't even know if I could grab this cotton. Looks like I got it. Yeah, I mean, if you can, I would have this coil up a little higher to make it easier for you. You know, would I like the authentic of this? Yeah. Do I care to spend the money right now? Especially the used ones, they tend to be even still well over RP, like $300. I mean, with it having just been Christmas, I'm sure there's some better prices, but generally I'm seeing RRP or more with this RTA. You know, VWM is one of the few atomizers that could still do that at brands, I should say. I don't see any O-rings on the deck. Oh yeah, there is one O-ring down here in the deck. I initially thought this RTA was gonna work like an Integra, like you and like a horror and an Avatar, where you unscrew a bottom ring and then pull out the deck as like a middle piece. A lot of RTAs do that, but this is different. This works more like a tripod, where you do like a half turn and pull the whole tank up. So, just give it a little haircut here. I like to do my 45-degree cuts. And a little off the top, and a little off the side, and a little off the... Okay. By the way, I hope you all enjoyed your Christmas time with your family and or friends. So what I'm going to do is tuck this down. See how it's hanging over like that. I'm just going to bring this down into the half circle and basically treat the cotton like it's going to dam this up and complete my circle. Hmm. Yeah, this is looking crazy. Okay. But I imagine with this, like most VWM products, short wicks that are a little full. There's not a lot of room in there to tuck it down. But I'm trying. It's looking kind of crazy. You know what? I probably should have wet it. Um, I rarely wick dry. I rarely do dry wicking these days, and I'm just realizing why. It's actually easier to at least get your cotton a little damp, because that's how it's going to look. That's how it's going to be. So get it to the consistency of what it's finally going to look like prior to shaping how it's going to lay in the well. I mean, I'm surprised more people don't do this. I didn't always do this, but RBAs have kind of made me look at this a different way now, the wicking process. So, it's something like that in the meantime. It's looking crazy right now. I mean, I'm going to bring it down a little. But you see, the cotton is completing the circle. You want to have it a little past the circle, too. If it's just flush with the top of the U, I don't think that's going to cover it. It's not going to be enough. It should be good. Something like that. I'm sorry, it's blurry, but see how it's a little elevated, a little puffy. Um, and you want to have the cotton all the way down to, on the inner side of the pillars. You want to have it all the way at the base, all the way at the top, filling out the sides, just short. You don't want that cotton coming out past the well at all, because then it'll just stay wet there and it won't get the leach further in. So, okay, and I'm going to make sure I push some of this stuff back so the airflow is not, clogged up. some loose pieces here. There we go. Clear path right in the center, because that's where the airflow has to reach the atomizer, or reach the coil. Okay. Let's see. So the top is very much reminiscent of like a steam tuners or all their other fill tops. Just simply threaded. Very short ring. It doesn't take up a lot of space. Isn't obnoxious looking. I don't know if you can even see it, but big fill ports. Plenty of space to fill it. Yikes. Alright, I'm just gonna throw this on right now. That's the other thing. I mean, I've been turning it around. If you start playing with this, with the, when it's, not attached to the deck anymore, you're kind of screwing with the whole system. There we go, I found the place. So, if you can't find it, like okay, so, just keep twisting it around till it finds its place. It'll find its place. Mine is in, but I don't know. That's better, I guess. On this particular one, the airflow is kind of in the way there, like the AFC is loose, like there's a lot of up and down movement, and that kind of throws me off a little bit, making me think like that I'm about to take the deck off, take the top cap off. So I don't like that. The tolerances on the Authentic, I'm sure, are much tighter and is done much more cleanly. But on this, it's a little rickety. So let's just fill it up. I'm going to make sure these juice flow ports are closed first. See, I don't like having to look in there to see if the juice flow ports are closed or not. That's not good. I like when I could have seen it right on the side. And at least with the Integra, I mean, you couldn't see it either, but you could really feel it. I still don't think these are closed. They're not like all the way. See, that's not good. Maybe there's another. I'm gonna try this one more way. Alright, fell into place again. Yeah, so like every time you take this off, you gotta like really watch where everything is. Yeah, like, this is falling apart already. Let's see, I just lost the AFC just came off. Because there's nothing really holding it there well. Yeah. This is put together like shit. For real. Now, I'm sure the Authentic is... I'm hoping it's fucking better. Oh my god. Garbage. I was so close too. I was like right... I was basically done. And then this had to happen. Okay, I mean... It's there. Everything's technically closed. Fucking bear with me. Really hope I could just get this to go on. Okay. Alright, it's in. Alright, I'm not gonna keep fucking with it. I feel like the juice flip ports are still a tiny bit cracked open, but I'm not gonna dick around with this. We're filling this fucking thing up and figuring this out. I'm not trying to make this take forever. Again, sorry for the resolution and all. It's just fine threads, not a lot of threads on here. I like to try to push it down first a little bit, backtrack it a little, make sure it's definitely in the threads. You don't want to cross thread this at all. Don't do it real tight, just barely screw it on. Okay, it looks like it's on. The airflow is nice. Let's see. See, that's the problem. Now that I have the juice in there, I can't, unless you have real clear juice, I can't see if I'm open or closed. Alright, I'm just going to use it. We'll figure it out. When it starts getting dry, I know it's the other way. I said it earlier in the video, too. What side's open and what side's closed. But who knows, after I played around with it, could have changed it. So 0.35, 28 watts. Could probably bump it up, but let's just do this for now. Gotta really pay attention to both sides of the AFC. Even though these are all the way open, I got one that's like mostly shut, not all the way. It's like, okay, this is wide open, both sides. I do like the draw a lot. It's restrictive, super smooth, very restrictive, like a like the Integra. Maybe even a little bit more, or it's just more smooth, and that's what I'm noticing. You know, HAR, RDL, Skila, very RDL, Teatro, things like that. It's definitely good. I would like an authentic of this. Probably, yeah. This is like the RDL. It's kind of like the RBAs, like the dope and unknown DL, BWM, RDL, and that's kind of how these RTAs are too, in my opinion. The Enigma is like a DL Dream, and then but BWM's products do better RDL. They do better tighter because they're smaller. I mean, they're super condensed, even though they can hold a lot of juice. It's taking on the drag. Sorry the quality. I'll do another video of this, but I didn't think it was going to go so well, so I'm up to 35.5 watts. No machine oil taste. It tastes really good, actually. So that's a pleasant surprise. I think somebody would turn the pool light on. I like it. I do like it. Let's change the. We can change the airflow up. Oh, get more light in here or what? Try to get a little more light going on. Okay, so I'm going to tighten it down just a little bit. Or I'm going to tighten it more and more because I'm going to get rid of those bigger holes. See, this is too loose. It's probably going to end up leaking on me. It just doesn't feel tight. It's put together too loose. This is a bad clone. Maybe the SXK one is, tolerances are better, but the tolerances are kind of shit on this. If you wanted to get this just to figure out if you would like the RTA, that I can understand because that's kind of what I just did. I like the RTA. Because what I want to know is how it wicks, how it draws. That's it. But tolerances, the dimensions on this are off. They're not good. I wouldn't say this, you're going to get this and be super happy with the build quality. Yeah, like, I don't know, it's a little muted. I have a shitty coil in here too. This coil is beat. I didn't think it was gonna, I thought it was gonna be really bad, so I didn't go all out. And I wasn't planning on this, like I said, so. I don't think I'm gonna open it back up again. Only because it's a 0.35, so I kinda want all the air I can get. Even though it's a small coil. That's why I'm thinking it's a coffin coil. Even at 35 watts, I feel like I don't have a lot of power, and like this is not meant to be a high wattage RTA. Um, but whatever. I'm real. My takeaway is I'm really impressed with the draw, fast wicking, and the draw. That's all. And the looks, but that's what I mostly care about with an RTA. The draw is crucial because that's what makes an RTA so great. Draw, smoothness, restricted airflow. It's getting darker out. We're getting real pixelated. Yeah, that's it. That is the Innova. I can't wait to play around with this a little more. Put a higher, put a 0.5, a 0.6, a 0.8 in here, and I think it would perform much better. Even if this was just a 0.4, it would make me feel better. At least 0.5 would be my ideal. Um, yeah, I think 0.5 to 0.7, a little 4 wrap type deal, 5 wrap, something small. I don't know gauges that well. I mean, 30 gauges, uh, 28 and 30, something like that. It's muted though. I think I needed longer leads so I could have had that coil higher to get more undercoil airflow. I think it's that and it being an old crappy coil. It's a little muted on the flavor for me because of those things. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Because I love the draw. But at the same time, maybe I just really want to crave a harder blast. Like, I'm so used to Enigma, and it's just like, you just get that. I get more air. I still want a 3. I screwed up. It's Christmas. I should have got a 3mm Enigma pin. That would be perfect for me. If you got a lot of unknown gear and you want to get rid of your, any Enigma pins that you could sell me for RRP, let me know. But yeah, this was like 20 bucks. Or 18 bucks from 3F8. So, you know, fair price just to test this and see if I like it or not. I knew I would like it though. It's fucking BWM, and it looks exactly like their other stuff. So. But the draw is a little different, just different enough. You know what I mean? It's like a refined, like Mark Todd has said this. It's a refined Integra through and through. That's what it is. But chintzy build quality on this. I hope the authentic is smooth because this is so sensitive. If I put this in my pocket, it would be so easy to accidentally open the whole deck up, lose the whole thing. So, yeah, I gotta be careful. All the airflow's open. All right. Well, it's getting dark. I was gonna do this live, but I didn't want it to skip. So that's everything. Thank you all for coming out, and watching this. Like I said, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. I was using the BP cotton today. This is the 2.5 diameter. It's already pre-sized. I'm really enjoying that because I always feel like I waste cotton baking, or I'm always playing with the strands. And this is just so easy. Just pull out the length you want and cut it. You're good. Probably always going to keep getting this stuff just for that convenience of it being pre-sized to the inner diameter of your coil. This is what it came in. Your typical SXK looking clone case. Really no extras, just some post screws, O-rings, and a Barbie screwdriver. So, alright, I don't know who makes that clone. It's, like I said, it's unbranded, and it's dark. And we're after 30 minutes, so I'll see you later. I'll have some more stuff next week, hopefully. In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy my Hussar V1. I think it's a Kindbright. And my Elite Pico Squeeze 2. It's like my poor man's Hellfire Shadow, you know, basically. It's heavy like one probably, so. Except this is 21700. Imagine if they made a Delrin version of this mod. I'd be all over it. Anyhow, I'll see you guys.